Hey everyone, and welcome to the Race to Zero Hour first race season opener for us here. I'm Sarthak, your commentator and host, and I'm alongside Srivatsan. What's up, bro?
Hey Sarthak, pretty exciting day, beginning of a new league over here.
Of course. How are you feeling? You've raced in a league, the Boar Racing League, and this time you're on the commentator's side. How are you feeling? Are you excited?
Yeah, commentary is pretty exciting. Pretty much different than the serious driving you do out there in the game. I'm really enjoying this new experience over here.
Yep. And as the drivers lobby up, and we'll be readying up any moment now. Talk us through how serious is virtual racing.
Most of the guys who are racing over here and also back in BRL, people do take this stuff pretty seriously. They practice day in and day out, sometimes just before the race.
Of course.
Like people can see boys from the BRL participating in Ultimate competitions too, where you got some pretty good races over there, and they've been doing well over there. So all that stuff does not come from like playing just for like a couple of days. You gotta work really hard to be at that level.
Yeah, of course, and you would know best from experience in the Boar Racing League. But regardless, Abu Dhabi shock qualifying, 18 minutes for each driver to set a lap time, which will decide their place on the grid for the race. Thoughts on the track, bro?
The track has been home to some pretty interesting battles towards the end of the season. You can still remember 2014 battle between Hamilton and Rosberg, and also the 2016 final race. So the track is like, many people consider the track pretty boring actually, but it has been like home to really serious calendar ends. And the track as such, it's not really hard. I wouldn't say it's a really hard track to drive on. I would give it a medium rating.
Okay.
But you need to have some experience in this track.
Of course. And as we wait, let's go through the drivers today here at the Race to Zero Hour. We've, of course, given them an opportunity to decide to, team up as well. And looks like it's 13 drivers so far, and we've got Carlos Sainz. He's a enthusiastic lad. Last minute he confirmed his registration just yesterday for the Race to Zero Hour. We got Freeze, who recently won the French GP of the Boar Racing League. He will be driving for Get a Vroom Racing alongside Rusty Nish. And we've got Nero X, who will be driving as representing the Bentley F1 team, so to speak, and alongside him the Supreme Leader, who unfortunately will be missing out the race today, and many more to come, and we'll keep the introductions going. But who are you excited to see on track, Srivatsan?
I'm pretty excited to see Nero X over here. I heard he is really good. I've seen him drive in some unranked online hobbies which have done with some of your boys. I guess you can expect him to be out there nearby KDB.
Okay, it'll be, of course, the highlight KDB, who's driving alongside UK in Scenario 7 Racing. Quite the name.
Pretty interesting names. I'm like the boys have got here. Even Carlos Sainz, I like what he has done with the name. Didn't go with it directly, but you got some pretty interesting team names and player names out here.
Yep, we do. Indeed, on board KDB. How do you think this will map out? What do you think is the difference compared to just realistic performance? Clearly, skill is everything. So, any key settings in game while driving the car you think we should remember, which will affect the driving itself?
Well, I'm pretty sure the race is going to be much closer than when you have a realistic performance, because nobody has a car advantage over here just based on what car they are driving, and everybody has an equal car. So the way each car drives is not different here. So you can expect a really close race over here.
Yep.
Obviously, setup really matters. You got to analyze what are your strengths, weaknesses. If you want more straight line speed, you got to go with lesser downforce setup and make the most out of it. But if you feel like you are not able to make the corners with a lesser downforce, you got to increase the downforce and analyze what's your weaknesses and high points and have your setup accordingly.
Of course. Yep, rightly said. Looks like a bunch of the drivers are out on their outlaps. And Vix356, who's about to miss today's race, is out and about. How do you think he'll fare? We've seen him have quite the aggressive driving skills, so to speak, at the Boa Racing League. It'll be interesting to see what's his plan of action for this one.
I think he'll fare pretty well. No matter the controversy, you gotta accept that he's a pretty good driver.
Of course. Yep, he is.
So yeah, I think he's gonna fare really well. But my bets are on KDB and Nero X. I expect them to see in the top.
Yep, and we got
pretty interesting battle over here.
Yep, and we've got Gambler here for Shroot Racing, who's alongside the Zool. So both of them new drivers. We've never seen them drive before, never seen them race before. So it'll be interesting to see if they can give a run for everybody else's money. And Big Man Joe for Roadrunner Racing, also on track. Looks pretty quick.
Yes, new livery for all the boys.
Yep.
The new livery looks really nice on these cars. Pretty much the boys have come up with good liveries for all their cars.
Yep.
And speaking of Big Man Joe, he's Mr. Consistent of BRL. He's been showing really consistent performances over seasons in BRL, so you can expect a consistent performance from him in Race to Zero or League 2.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And as we were talking about liveries and the BRL, Nero X has set the fastest lap time of 1 minute 34.956. KDB right behind at 1 minute 34.423. And second off of him, Kumori Zora. I hope I pronounced that right. Yep, Kumori Zora. P3 so far. Looks like a bunch of them are still deciding whether or not to take their time in setting a fast lap. But give us an idea how Freeze might fare in this race. He's in the pits currently. But my thoughts are Abu Dhabi. He's coming off a strong race from the French GP. He could possibly, qualify at pole. That's my thought.
Well, he seems to be doing really well after this gear upgrade. That's for sure. That's a given. He's improved a lot, but he does not have the Mercedes advantage he had in France in BRL. So we'll have to see how he's gonna fare without the Mercedes advantage over here. So he has a point to prove over here after that race win. So he's able to do really well without the Mercedes advantage. Then he's really proving it out there.
Yup, and the Zool is steaming away here at Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit. And everyone watching in the chat, please drop who you're here for. Or are you just here to enjoy virtual racing? Late night, so I'm pretty sure you got popcorn or your dinner beside you. I know I have my dinner beside me. I don't know about Srivatsan. But anyway, 11 and a half minutes left in the shock qualifying to go. Nero X still holds provisional pole, so to speak, but anything's possible.
Yes, as I told, it will be pretty interesting to see the battle between Nero X and KDB. I'm waiting to have a look at who's gonna come out on top in this race between the two of them.
Yep. And special pit exit at the Yas Marina circuit. You go through a tunnel while exiting the pit.
It's a pretty interesting pit exit out there. Sometimes you really get confused what's going on. The first time I tried to go in the game in Abu Dhabi, I was like, what's going on? Why am I going under somewhere? But people who are already familiar with that or seen it a lot of times before on TV would be used to that, I guess. But then it's a different experience. It's the only track in the calendar which has underground pit exit kind of a feel. If I may say.
Yep. Precisely.
We have got a BRL boy Rusty Nish over here. He's doing pretty well. He's fourth class of now.
Yep, he has, and he's going into the pits for a quick analyzation of which part of the track he can do better in. 8 drivers have set their lap times already, but we've still got over 5 drivers yet to set a lap time. 10 minutes left into the session.
Yes, still a lot of time to go. You can expect someone taking a really quick lap towards the end.
Yes, we can. Lots of time left, and those of you joining us, I see 7 people with us watching the race to 0R, the Abu Dhabi GP. Drop in the chat who you here for, what you like about racing, and even thoughts about Real F1. Let's talk a little bit about Real F1. We are going into the second British GP, the 70th anniversary British GP. Srivatsan, excited?
I'm sure the Mercs are going to win. Actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
No question about there's no question about who's going to win it. I am excited to see who's going to finish in third actually. But that's obviously Max has a better chance. I'm looking forward to see if Hulkenberg can race this weekend or not, because I read news today saying Perez is done with this quarantine duration and he might actually race in Silverstone. So I was actually looking forward for the Hulkenberg return last weekend. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So I'm waiting to see if Hulk can get a drive in the racing point this weekend in Silverstone.
Okay, indeed. It'll be interesting to see the British GP, and in fantastic fashion, the Avocado sets a lap time finally, and the other drivers as well, racking up. Carlos Sainz's lap time got invalidated. Must have gone beyond track limits at some point. Let's wait. Nero X is out again.
Yes, he's trying to better his already really good lap time of 134, I guess.
Yep, he is.
He loves seeing people out here in equal performance cars, you know, it really shows who's good at what and what their capabilities are in this game. You gotta be really good and really extract the maximum out of these cars to be really good in a multiplayer car. It can really show you who's actually the better driver in terms of pace.
Yep, in terms of pace, indeed. And looks like there's only 3 drivers yet to set the lap time. And it's rather interesting 3 drivers, Vix356, UK and Carlos Sainz.
You got a pretty interesting rivalry going on between Vix and UK, the PRL, if those who are familiar with it. So let's see if these two have something going on in the last few minutes of this qualifying.
Yep. And let's take a look at what they're up to in terms of tires. Looks like Kumori Zora has decided to put on the mediums, along with Rustinish doing the same. Same goes to Vix356 as well.
It's a 25% race, so I think the best strategy would be to start on the softs and move on to the mediums.
Yep.
But then, as you know, the tire wear is different in many different tracks. So, but I'm pretty sure the soft medium will hold up in Abu Dhabi though. And
yep.
Interesting to see some people are going on Vix, Rusty and Kumari Zora are doing their lap times in medium. I guess they're trying for a overcut since they quit later than the people who are starting on softs. Or the reason might be the softs wear out really soon over here in Abu Dhabi. So strategy is one thing you gotta keep an eye on over here.
Yep. Meanwhile, I don't know if you caught that, Srivatsan. D Avocado had completely gone off track and he's been disqualified from the shock qualifying.
Oh.
Yep.
That's an interesting development which I missed over.
Yep. He'll be starting P13 unfortunately. And looks like a bunch of them are in the pits. 5.5 minutes to go here at the Abu Dhabi GP of the race to 0R.
UK is still yet to set a lap time.
Yep, and he's still in the pits.
I wonder what's going on over there.
Yep. Interesting to see how they fare in the last couple of minutes. And KDB currently has set the fastest lap time, 1 minute 34.861. Nero.
We are 10th of seconds separating Nero X and KDB.
Yep. And Big Man Joe's 2 seconds, just under 2 seconds off of Nero X. So he'll want to set a better lap time himself.
I wonder what different gear steps KDB and Nero X are on. I think Nero X is also on the wheel, same as KDB. So
Yep.
it'll be pretty interesting to talk about all the gears and other different stuff these guys are using in the post-race chat.
Yes, it will. Post-race chat of the race to 0R will be tomorrow. It'll be interesting. Hopefully we talk to the drivers who are probably the most skillful on this track. They're the ones who will come out on the podium at the end of the day.
You can almost see a 2-second gap difference between the top two and the place driver, as we have mentioned. So again, it will be pretty interesting to see the top two are just gonna get a rocket start and be ahead of the rest the whole time.
It will be interesting to see in the mix. UK still hasn't set the fastest lap time, but he is out of the pits. So that's something to look forward for. On board UK as he goes through the corners in sector 2. Yep, on board sector 3. He's entering sector 3 and he is flying on his outlap itself. So we'll look forward to how he manages to push to the limit on his fast lap.
I think he's gone out of track over there.
Yep, but it's his outlap, so
let's see what kind of a fast lap he's going to put on.
yep, as he starts his fast lap here at the Abu Dhabi GP Yas Marina circuit.
He's got the fast left-hander over here, which he took pretty comfortably, I would say. I wonder what took him so long to put in a lap over here. Maybe some strategy was on to come out late and put out a good lap.
Probably just set a purple sector, sector 1. Now as he enters sector 2, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. He's got DRS. And he's pushing to the absolute limit here, UK on the straight, going into the corner.
Takes a beautiful left and then a beautiful right.
Yep, going through corners.
He will get the DRS. We have got another fast straight comes up for him.
Yep. It's a green sector 2. Yep. It's a green sector 2. As he enters sector 3 now.
The right turn which is coming in for you is slightly tricky, than it seems. You got to slow down at exact right point, otherwise you're going to overthrow you. So normally you can see many people overshooting in that particular corner, but UK seems to have taken it comfortably and he is cruising away to set our lap time over here.
Yep, looks like it's. Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if he can get into the top 3.
Looks like
Top of the final corner, and he goes 6th fastest.
6th fastest. UK puts himself in the mix, splits Harry Rocks 24 and freeze. Good job, number 69. The number he adores so much.
I'm pretty sure he has another thought while getting the numbers on start, right?
Yep, on board Harry Rocks 24, who's on his outlap, will be looking to set a fastest lap soon. 40 seconds to go here at the Yas Marina circuit. Took that corner a little bit too wide.
So KDB is on his outlap, Harry Rocks is on his outlap, and Gambler is on his out lap. So it will be pretty interesting to see if these guys could get one more lap in to better their times. KDB, as you can see on the screen, is already on pole position. So it will be interesting to see if he can extend his lead on Nero X.
Yep, and seems like all the drivers are out on track as we. Oh, someone's off there. Someone's off. Rusty Nish. He has disqualified.
I wonder what happened over there.
Don't know. Looks like he went into the barriers after. Yep, that's him over there on the right hand side. I don't know if you caught that, but yeah, that was super unfortunate for him. He's set a time which puts him P9 as of now. And let's see if anyone can beat him. The Zool, Gambler, and Carlos Sainz are the ones below him.
It's not the ideal start you would have liked to do for this race. Firstly, I'm pretty sure he was expecting to do something better than a P9 start over there. So UK has already done this qualifying session and he's 6 fastest as of now.
Yep, and Harry Rocks 24 also gets disqualified.
The boys are going all over the place in Abu Dhabi right now.
Yep, they are, and as he comes around sector 3, Nero X still holds on to that P2. I think KDB is out trying to set a lap time as well. We're on board Big Man Joe.
Yes, one final lap I guess he's going for. It will be interesting to see what if he can break into the top 3 and get ahead of what he was before.
Across the line, time's not good enough, he sticks to P4.
Yes, he couldn't better his previous lap. So KDB is still on one last lap.
Yep, and that's...
He seems to have not taken a better lead of his previous time either.
Vix 356
coming up now.
betters his time.
Goes 6 fastest for me, so that's a pretty good last lap from Vix 356 now.
And Gambler comes across the line. That means KDB is on pole here at the Abu Dhabi GP. And like you said, Srivatsan, this guy's a fast lad.
Yeah, as I expected, KDB and Nero X have knocked out the front here in Abu Dhabi in the race to 0R.
Yep.
So let's see what we have in our hands over here.
Yep, we shall. And we shall. As we wait. Yep, this is the classification for the first race of the race to 0R. KDB on pole, Nero X closing off that front row. And Kumori Zora and Big Man Joe in the second row. Vix 356 betters his time, and Harry Rocks 24, UK Freeze, Rusty Nish holds on to the P9 even though he crashed out at the last moment there. The Zool P10 and the Gambler at P11, P12 Carlos Sainz and D Avocado after the early disqualification P13.
Interesting to note, Kumari Zora and the Rusty Nish are the only 2 people who will be starting on the medium tires over here.
Only 2 people. How much of a difference do you think that will make in terms of just the race itself? Do you think of course there will be moments where strategies will be pretty much super important? You never know when the safety car can come out. You never know what could happen at every corner. Turn 1 will be the highlight, of course.
Yes, definitely. You gotta get out of turn 1 without being damaged. That is what each driver will be thinking out there right now. In my early days when I was racing, my only mantra was to get out of turn 1 safe, and you're going to have a good race after that. Because everybody who's having damage in turn 1, or pretty much damage their cars in turn 1, will have to go to the pit and will lose that 5 seconds in that wing change, which you can always gain over.
Of course, turn 1s in every racetrack seems to catch drivers way off guard. I'm pretty sure it's caught you off guard quite a few times. And of course, as we wait for the race to begin at the Yas Marina circuit.
One more interesting thing to note for the viewers is that all the drivers need to have 2 different sets of tires and 2 different compounds should be used in the race, even though it is a 25% race. So you can't do a medium or a soft. You need to have 2 different compounds in the race. So that will be pretty interesting to see.
Yep, especially in a track like this one And of course, under the lights. Interesting to see as the drivers get ready. Let's talk about possible highlights of the race, so to speak. I would say Harry Rocks 24 will be giving it his all this time around.
Yes, he's new to BRL and he's starting over a new league over here. So I am sure he wants to give his best and to get on the top as soon as we start over here.
Yep.
And the boys are all lined up, and it's lights out here in Abu Dhabi.
And they're steaming ahead. Predicted pit stop strategy, as we can see, is soft to medium or soft to hard, but leading away is KDB. Huge mix up in the pack. Rusty Nish has already probably DNF'd, and Wixley 56 holds on to that P5 as Freeze fights for it.
We might have a safety car over here. Rusty Nish had already DNF'd over here. UK has lost of position. Carlos Sainz holds on to his P10. Harry Rocks seems to have lost a lot of position. So I don't know what happened in turn 1 over here. As you mentioned, turn 1 is really important, and it seems like a mess over here in turn 1, and people have lost a lot of position over here.
Yep, and as they go down the straight, it looks like he's gonna get slipstreamed there. Harry Rocks 24, could he pull off a move? Oh, and he crashes! He loses the front wing. He missed the braking zone for sure.
Yes, probably braking too late, trying to pull off that move, and it has not gone well for him. I'm pretty sure he's got a pretty bad wing damage over there, which he'll have to change.
Yep, he will. He will be going into the pits any moment now. This happened to him in another league as well. First race. Oh, on his tail now, KDB. Nero X has taken the race lead.
Well, they're not separated by much. Their KDB is only 3/10 of a second behind, so we can expect him to catch up really soon and have a good battle go on over here. Coming on to the main straight. The DRS is not active yet.
And around the corner they come. KDB goes wide once again. He's been going off track quite a bit. Meanwhile, UK gets the jump on Carlos Sainz for P10.
He seems to be pretty far away from the avocado over here for 4-5 seconds off. So I guess he was also involved in that turn 1 massacre, I would say.
Okay, I'm
currently holds the fastest lap. In these 2 laps we have not yet to know.
Yep, let's try and figure out. Let's stick to these drivers. Gonna take a
yellow flag in sector 1, sector 2 and sector 3. There's yellow flags all over the track right now.
Yep, it seems like a couple of drivers having a bit of a moment. And looks like we possibly could have a restart, Srivatsan. I'm just getting news that Rusty Nish disqualified because UK's car had glitched out on the track.
Yes, the drivers are making pretty interesting claims off the track right now. We have Mr. Vex with us over here. So if you could catch this comment on what's going on in the track. And this call views on whether there should be a restart or not.
Yep.
Hey boys.
Hey Mr. Wex Vikas, thoughts on Rusty Nish?
We don't know what actually happened there in lap in turn 1 to start. Maybe UK glitched because there was a mention in the chat that he had internet issues.
Yep.
Rewind it and look up the game.
Yep, but Rusty Nish is constantly asking for a race restart as we speak. And we'll have to wait because KDB got that jump on Nero X. He will get that race lead.
He seems to be pulling off away from after getting that move done.
Yep, seems like it. Nero X will try and get that back. Big man Joe over 2 seconds away from Nero X, and Nero X tries around the outside. Will he get him?
He seems to have gotten, yes, he's taking the lead back in again.
Yup,
Hero
he
X
has.
leads the race.
Once again, it'll be interesting to see as these two keep fighting. Going into the next corner, they're almost wheel to wheel. KDB loses a bit of time there.
He's on his tail, KDB. He's not letting him go. He's giving him a really tough time over here. So we can see these two drivers are pretty much equally matched as I had expected. Coming off onto the main straight, KDB will have the irons over here. So let's see if we can try and pull off a move.
Doesn't quite get it. Still going off track. And he's pushing real hard now. The gap's only increasing, possibly a second soon. But no, he holds on. Still less than a second and he loses it.
But KDB has spun. And he resets to track.
Yup, he does.
That will be a pretty interesting thing to note. He has reached to track over here.
Yup, he has. Meanwhile, Gambler and the Zool fighting for position. Closer than ever. Down the inside he goes. Yup, UK once again gets another position. He's climbing from the back of the pack after that failed start.
He seems to be recovering from the Terminal Massacre. He's already got the jump on Carlos Sainz and the Avocado. He is not far away from the Zool. He's just 2 tenths away and the gap seems to be decreasing. He might get another jump over here.
Yup.
Move on to P8.
He's fighting aggressively. He's on the gearbox of the Zool. He will have DRS now on board the Zool. UK right behind him. And he'll take the inside line to possibly get an overtake. Does he? The Zool's fighting back wheel to wheel. The Zool goes off track back there.
There was a bit of a contact over there when UK tried to make the move when he was spinning on the left side.
Yup, and looks like UK had an issue as well, but okay, he's given the Zool
the position back to Zool. So
Yep.
good sportsmanship you see over there from UK.
Yup, it was when they went wheel to wheel. They had a bit of a moment which caused them to collide. Carlos Sainz will take that position from Harry Rocks 24, who's fallen to the back of the pack right now.
Carlos Sainz seems to be on the hard tires right now. I guess he pit and he had a good change. So he started out on the softs. Now he seems to have got a big change and moved on to the hard lap, going in for the longest stint to get till the end of the race. The gap between KDB and Nero X is increased dramatically over now after KDB spun over the duel between Nero X and KDB. There's a 6-second gap between Nero X and KDB.
Yup, the Zool goes into the pits and he's coming out with a set of mediums.
I guess his softs are worn out and he's moving on to the next stint over there. And meanwhile, both Harry Rocks and Carlos Sainz have got the jump on the Zool during that pit stop. And UK is on to the Avocado.
Yup, he is now approaching the Avocado, steaming there. Is Big Man Joe's AI. Unfortunately, seemed like he's lost connection. The Zool taken that overtake once again against Harry Rocks 24. Oh, they're fighting quite a bit there.
Yes, I think I saw some contact between those two cars.
Possibly.
The jump on Harry Rocks now again. It does not seem to be really far away from the Zool, Harry Rocks 24. Pretty eventful race we are having over here. We got a lot of stuff within the first 6 laps of this 14-lap race. I thought there will be a safety car, but we haven't had a safety car till now. We have got a lot of incidents till now to note, and it will be pretty interesting to see who comes out on top at the end.
Yep, it will. And looks like I'm communicating with the rest of the organizers, and it seems like we could have a possible restart. No news yet. The Zool gets a 3-second time penalty regardless, and looks like UK and Freeze are both into the pits and they're coming out right now with mediums.
Okay, quick update. We does seem like we'll be getting restart with the custom grid.
Yep. We start with a custom grid. And let's quit. And please do stay with us, everybody, as we sort out the restart. Hey everyone, just to mention, please leave the lobby. We are restarting. We are restarting. And we are back after a bit of a moment where we had connection issues with multiple players, multiple drivers, and we shall see the restart of the Abu Dhabi GP. Srivatsan, are you with me? Guess he's on the way as well. Yup, qualifying has been set. We'll be making a custom grid since it is a restart to keep things fair. KDB on pole, Nero X locking out the front row. Shortly behind them is Big Manjo. Correction, Kumori Zora is the man in P3 and Big Man Joe to lock out the second row. P5 Vix 356, Harry Rocks 24 at P6, UK at P7, P8 Freeze, P9 Rusty Nish, the Zool at P10, Gambler at P11, Carlos Sainz at P12, D Avocado at P13 at the back of the grid after unfortunate disqualification. And we should wait as the drivers lobby up. Connection issues are predominantly frequent when it comes to the Formula 1 2020 game. So this comes as no surprise to us, but if it's a surprise to you, well, it is what it is. Drop in the chat. I saw someone who's a fan or a friend of Nero X in the chat, Michael. So hello to you, Michael. And for the rest of y'all in the chat, please do mention who you're here for. Are you just here to enjoy racing? A little bit of virtual racing, as it is the race to 0R. 0R is just 10 minutes away. So the restart doesn't really play into the hands of the league. Regardless, we shall be racing soon. For those of you joining us recently, we are Vid Esports. We are involved in multiple things and we are hosting the Race to 0R alongside Roadrunner Racing Co. Esports. We are involved in hosting exhibition matches and tournaments. We've got a West Premier League going on as we speak, and this Race to 0R adds up to another league on the list. Meanwhile, in Roadrunner Racing Co. Esports, we've got the Boa Racing League. Most of the drivers here today on track will also be competing in that league, so do make sure to go and watch those league races as well. Pretty interesting. A lot of people underestimate virtual racing, but there's so much that goes into it in terms of preparation. Even if it is for fun, throughout the week drivers are practicing to and fro, bettering, just making sure they know how to go through corners of a particular track bettering on that part. Yup, overall development. We've got drivers on keyboards, we've got drivers on controllers, and we've got drivers with wheels in terms of input devices. And as we wait, And we have Srivatsan back with us. Srivatsan.
Yes, Satak Mahovia, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. And as driver's lobby up, thoughts on how the restart might go. We did see Nero X get a jump on KDB. Do you think it'll happen again?
Yes, I think they're gonna keep exchanging their places throughout the race. So it will be interesting to see who can win the race at the end. My bet on who's gonna win the race is either KDB or Hero X.
Just the two, but who knows? Maybe a couple of backmarkers could make a comeback. It's always a possibility.
Yes, we saw Rusty Nish DNF having DNF over there, so he could have a good race in the restart.
Yep, he could. And as we wait for the Abu Dhabi GP to flag off, I was just telling everybody who's stayed to watch how Formula 1 games are frequent to connection issues such as this one.
We gotta complain about this to the Codys, don't we? 2019 we had the same issue, and we are hoping that 2020 we have a better framework so that there is less lag and all these stuffs, but it seems to be persisting as of now.
Yep, and as we wait, and for those of you joining us right now, I see a bunch of y'all viewing the Race to Zero Hour first race of the season. Drop in the chat who you're here for, why you're here. Pretty sure it's just to enjoy virtual racing, but I'm sure you're here to support one of your friends who's driving here today.
Yes, let us know who you're supporting in the comment, and leave a like and subscribe to Video Esports.
Yep.
To get more of this content and to see more esports.
Indeed, rightfully said. And we wait as the grid's being set up for the restart of the Abu Dhabi GP of the Race to Zero Hour. Yep, and we're good to go. The race will commence, and hopefully we do not encounter any issues. Race at the Abu Dhabi circuit, Yas Marina circuit. 25% race distance. Stringent rules, no doubt. And we will see the boys racing any moment now.
Yes.
We will.
So hopefully we get to see some of those battles we lost out over there because of people having damage and having a DNF.
Indeed. Indeed. Yep, session starts in 15 seconds. Let's see how we go.
Yes, people, we have the race restart hub over here, and the boys will be out there on the grid, and here they are.
Lights out.
Lights out.
Yep.
And we have KDB up back in the lead, followed closely by Nero X, and we have Big Mendo taking a jump over Kumarizono over there. Freeze seems to have gained a lot of positions. Rusty Nish seems to have dropped.
Vix 3-5.
And there's someone who's gone and hit the wall over there. That's Vix 356. He's back down a lot. He's dropped on to P12. We have 2K again back in the back of the rig. He's dropped to P13. Rusty Nish seems to be gaining some places back again now, and he goes to P9.
Yep, the restart has proven good for him, as we saw him going wheel to wheel a couple seconds ago. Rusty Nish up into P9. Vix 356 going off was quite the spectacle. Oh, swaying here. The Zul swaying, and down the inside he goes. He will have. Oh, and they hit each other.
There's the contact.
Yep, there was contact. The Avocado had a moment there. He's wheel to wheel with Vix 356 now. And as they steam off, UK at the back of the pack, trying to close in on the Avocado.
Well, the grid is really close right now. We've got the back markers and the midfield is really close right now. Everybody seems to be within 1 second or 2 seconds away from who's ahead of them.
Yep, and Carlos Sainz was slapped with the 3-second time penalty and has dropped and has gone off considerably. Looks like closer than ever. A lot of shunts all around the gap. The Zul and Gambler real close to each other. And looks like Big Man Joe in the mix as well. Here he's got Gambler on his tail. And yup, Gambler gets that overtake pretty fine, if we might say. And he will.
It's a pretty good overtake we pulled out over there.
Yup, he has. And frees up into P4. Kumori Zora in P3, but he's got a 4-second gap to Nero X, who's possibly gonna be fighting KDB any moment now. Less than a second gap between the two.
Vix 356 seems to have had a lot of damage, and he's back in the pace right now. Probably getting a big change over there. And I guess he'll move on to the hard tires to get till the end of the race. Big Man Joe and the Zul a bit of a fight over there.
Yup, and there are three ways. Three ways. It looks like Carlos Sainz got into that mix as well. Big Man Joe, the one to lose out on more than anyone else there. Seems like it's Nea once again for Big Man Joe. Seems to have connection issues.
Yeah, he seemed to have got the lead over the Zul over there, and then he has dropped back 2 positions over there. And he seems to have disconnected from the race.
Yep.
KDB and Nero X battling it out and setting the fastest lap over there. KDB setting the fastest lap and Nero X taking away the fastest lap just a second later.
Yup, and let's fix that with Big Man Joe. Let's get him back racing. And we are still on the Yas Marina circuit. 11 laps to go. Looks like a huge switch up on the grid.
Yes, Vix 356 was doing pretty well before the restart. He seems to have lost a lot after this restart. We've got a couple of gainers too over here. Freeze seems to have been having a better race than what he was doing before the restart.
Yup, and he's closing in. And he goes around Kumori Zora. He's trying his best. Rusty Nish and the wheel to wheel, and he spins out there. Freeze. Yup, that was Freeze who spins out during that wheel to wheel battle with Kumori Zora. Harry Rocks 24 making good work, capitalizing on that.
Yes, good job by Freeze too, not to damage the car and still be on track, keeping track position and not losing only 1 position over there.
Up, they're closer than ever, these drivers. I've never seen a race more closer. I mean, that owes to the fact that they're all driving the car with same potential.
Yes, exactly. As I had mentioned before the race, you can expect to have a more closer and a competitive race when the realistic performance is taken out of the equation.
Yup, and Harry Rocks 24 on the tail of Kumori Zora. He's got Freeze right behind him. 3-second time penalty for Carlos Sainz.
Freeze seems to have dropped behind Harry Rocks right now. He has lost P5. He's off to P6 now.
And as we wait, looks like Nero X. We saw Nero X bettering the fastest lap a few moments ago. Few minutes to be honest. And KDB still holds the race lead, but he's got Nero X to worry about right behind him. And looks like Kumori Zora's 12-second off, but he's got trouble in his midst. And Harry Rocks 24 will take the inside line. Oh, they touch, they squeeze. What is happening here at the Yas Marina circuit? Looks like Harry Rocks 24 will be the person to benefit out of that. And Kumori Zora not giving in. Side by side they go into the corner. Harry Rocks 24 being cautious shunts him.
Pretty late braking over there, and he seems to have hit Marizora from the back. Some pretty interesting wheel-to-wheel race we have got going on over here.
Yep, 3-second time penalty for the race leader KDB after multiple warnings. I'm guessing it's because most of these drivers are going beyond track limits.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of people going off track limits over here. In a lot of the turns, you can see people going really wide.
Yep, oh, and he's gone off again. Freeze. Gambler, he's got. Oh, Freeze has left the session. I'm guessing that's a connection issue on his part. Looks like yellow flag in sector 3.
He's dropped considerably now. He's dropped down to P9. Freeze. He was P3 or P4 at one point of time, and now he's dropped to P9.
Yep, he has lost connection. It's his AI on track as we speak. And Big Man Joe still hasn't connected with us. Let's try and fix that once again. And let's see everybody racing once again. The avocado.
Big Man Joe is back in the race right now.
Should be any.
He seems to be languishing somewhere over there in P10 along with Freeze, nearby Rusty Nish and Carlos Sainz.
Wix 356 at the back of the pack after that moment in the beginning where he got spun out. Real disappointing. And looks like
Let's see if he can come up with a comeback over here. He has pitted, he has got the hard tires on. I'm pretty sure that can go on till the end of the race. Nilo X seems to be pitting right now, trying to get an undercut done over KDB. So we have AW's insights telling us that he might be going for the medium tires.
Yep, he does.
So a good little upgrade there from the game.
Of course.
There's no insights.
Indeed, you gotta love Formula 1 as he comes out of the pits through that impressive pit exit down the tunnel like we were talking about. He'll come out P5.
The pit exit is one of a kind in Abu Dhabi.
One of a kind indeed. And Harry Rocks 24 has Kumori Zora in his sights. Could he pull something off? Oh, he's got Nero X on his tail. Both the red cars.
Harry Rocks is yet to pit. Nero X has already pitted, so I guess you should try to play it safe over here.
Yep.
Nero X seems to get the move. He gets the move done. He has overtaken Harry Rocks over there.
Yeah,
expertly.
I expected them to be wheel to wheel, but looks like KDB has retired from the session. What has happened here? Could we see his car anywhere on track any moment soon? Safety car is out. He's gone off somewhere.
His leader seems to have retired from the race. What's going on over here?
What has happened? Drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car for the Zool.
Oh my god, we have got everything happening over here. The race leader has DNF'd. People are being handed over drive-through penalties. People seem to be going off the track and getting normal penalties.
What a spectacular turn of events. Nero X must be kicking himself literally for pitting early, or maybe he isn't. He could get the race lead again, but Kumori Zora seems to be the one to benefit out of all this. He'll have the race lead once safety car ends. And he goes into the pits.
Kumori Zora started out on the mediums, I guess. So he has to go in for the mandatory compound change. I guess would not be ideal for Kumori Zora as he'll be using a lot of positions out here in the safety car.
He's got the softs on.
Yes, he's trying to go on with the softs, which will last usually for over 5 laps.
But he's
Then you got the safety car over here, so I guess he's trying to save his tires a little and then get on with it once the safety car is out.
And with a spectacular turn of events, it looks like UK is at the race lead.
Wow, the safety car has really changed the equation over here.
Yep.
Okay.
Seems like a glitch in the game. UK is not in the race lead. Nero X still holds on to that after Kumori Zora went into the pits. Came out with softs which are already 6 laps old. And the Zool will be looking to attack as soon as the safety car goes back in. Big man Joe, UK at the back. The Zool heating up, trying to heat up his tires here at the Abu Dhabi GP of the race to 0R.
Yes, Vix also seems to have jumped into the medium tires now during the safety car. So let's see how much of a fight can he put up from P12 over here till the end.
Let's see, but unusual for Kumori Zora to come out in with the softs, but 7 laps to go here. Anything is possible. Looks like it's only Rusty Nish, Kumori Zora and the Zool with softs on track. But of course Rusty Nish is the one with the advantage. Fresh soft tires.
I guess there is a mistake from the game over there. Kumori Zora seems to be on the fresher softs, not 6 lap old softs.
Could be. And Nero X will hold. Oh, looks like people are overtaking on the safety car. Nope, just slowing a bit down the Zool. And they'll hit.
It's really vital to. Oh, people are trying to jump into the pits right now during the second lap safety car. Zool jumps into the pit.
Yep. The Zool's in the pits. Nero X.
So does Carlos Sainz. Oh my god, we have got a massive change up in the grid yet again, and it's showing UK seems to be the game wants to put UK on top. Even though it's over there back at P8, the game really seems to love him and he says put UK on top.
Yep. And regardless, Harry Rocks 24 is at P3. Another individual who did capitalize on the whole situation with KDB crashing out and the safety car coming out. 6 laps to go.
He seems to have gained a lot of position during the AC over here. He seems to jump from P9 to a respectable P5.
And it's
so a good 4th place gain over there.
And it seems like he's in the best possible situation to possibly climb up the grid all the more.
Big things things changed from the mediums to softs. I guess what that was all about. He started out on the softs. He jumped to the hards. Then he went back to medium. Now he's again back on softs. He has to catch up with the safety car queue right now. So I guess what strategy is going on in his mind.
Indeed, we shall see. Looks like safety car is still out. We probably go in soon. Of course, we want to go racing once again. The Zool UK seems to have a bit of a moment. The safety car in this lap. 5-second penalty for the Zool after severe collision with Freeze. And we shall see how this starts off. Looks like they're closer than ever. Nero X is pushing everyone back a bit. He's heating up his tires. 5-second time penalty after severe collision with Big Man Joe for the Avocado as well. Less than a second is the gap between Kumori Zora and Nero X.
Hey boys, update on KDB.
Yep.
As KDB for the second year straight, I think in turn 11-12 he missed out. He spun and he was directly into the wall.
Oh no.
That's how he DNF'd.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. It's moments like those which we don't really want to see on track. Ain't that right, Vikas?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, indeed. And we're waiting to see the race to commence once again here at the Yas Marina. 3-second time penalty handed to Kumori Zora. As the race begins down the main straight, come all the cars. All three sectors still surprisingly yellow flag, but it's off right now. Glitch in the game once again, but Nero X will lead the race. Kumori Zora less than a second behind him. Harry Rocks 24 behind him. This could be Nero X's moment to shine.
Yes, and we have to keep an eye on all the people who are there out there on the stops. They have the faster compounds, and we have only 5 laps to go right now. It's not that we have to miss out on the battle between Nero X and KDB. It was very interesting while it was happening.
Yep. It was less than a second between Rusty Nish and Big Man Joe. They're closer than ever. Yup, he will pull out. Big Man Joe on the mediums. Gets that jump on Rusty Nish, who was on the softs.
Yes, pretty good move by Big Man Joe. Rusty Nish seems to be trying for the switch over right now.
Yup, he's trying desperately. He could try something.
He will have the slipstream, but it does not seem to be enough.
Doesn't quite get it. Oh, he's got an issue with him. Freeze right behind him. Look at them fighting. Rusty Nish and Freeze. The Avocado trying to get into the mix, but the gap is just too big.
Vic seems to have gained 3 positions over now. He's making a comeback over here. He has gained over 3 positions from P12 to P9.
Yup, in the back of the...
He's not far away from the Avocado.
Yep.
UK seems to have dropped back to P12, so wonder what's going on with him over there.
Yup, looks like A and Freeze and Rusty Nish seem to be
UK
going...
back on the top in the game. Game seems to love him. It's like, I am not gonna give up on you.
And he spins! Rusty Nish is into the wall again. Loses a bit of his front wing. The Freeze... The Zool capitalizes on it, but Freeze was responsible for that. Could be. Or was it just a racing incident? We'll find out in a bit. Regardless, Freeze did hold on to that P6.
That looks like a punt, didn't it?
Yep, it did.
I think it was a reckless move from Freeze, just coming close to Rusty Nish.
Of course, Vikas, you would know best. Our steward for the Race to Zero Hour League. You really think Freeze needs to be handed a penalty for that?
I think so, but it's up to the discussion between other stewards also.
Of course.
So let's see.
Yep. Thank you once again. And Freeze is trying the same thing again on Gambler. Could it work out? No, that was Big Man Joe trying a freeze on Gambler.
So yes, the stewards will go through all the video evidence in that incident between Freeze and Rusty Nish, and will hand over the necessary penalties wherever it's required. But
of course,
it did seem like a punt from Freeze on Rusty Nish. He seems to have lost a lot of positions over now.
Yep.
And race control has enabled DRS.
Yep. Carlos Sainz with 3-second time penalty. Looks like the game just loves UK, doesn't it?
Well, he is on P1 now. When he's actually P12, 10 or 11, I guess. Any of the Dragon Ball Z fans out there, you can see that instant going from place to place which Goku does. UK seems to have mastered it in the game.
And looks like Rusty Nish seems to have an issue. He has DNF'd. Has he once again? In Sector 3 this time around. We're on board Nero X. Possibly we can see his car on track.
Let's see if we have a look. We can have a look at his car. It doesn't seem to be here.
Nope, nowhere.
He did seem to have a lot of wing damage, so we don't know if he DNF'd because of losing control of his car or something else happened over there.
Meanwhile, it's a fight for P2 here. Harry Rocks 24 and Kumori Zora into the corner they go. Pushing to the absolute limit. Harry Rocks 24 gets a 3-second time penalty nonetheless. Kumori Zora will hold on to that P2 for a while now. X356 has retired from the session. What has happened to him?
Third DNF of the day. He seemed to have been putting up a comeback. He was doing pretty well. Now he has had a DNF and he is out of race now. As Big Man Joe gets another 3-second penalty. It's all happening, people. We have got penalties, DNFs, safety cars,
Drive through.
all kinds of drama going on over here.
Yep, all kinds of drama here at the race to 0R.
UK does not care about all this drama. He's P1 again, back on top.
Leave it to the game to confuse us once again. Nero X is leading the race. As we speak, Kumori Zora behind him. Harry Rocks 24 right behind him as well.
Seems to be pretty much of a gap. Yeah, now UK has been put back in his position. There's a big gap between Nero X and P2 Kumori Zora. There is a 9-second gap. I guess the game is all over the place right now. We are seeing the stat of Kumori Zora having used the softs for 15 laps. I'm sure that's not the case.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's not the case in 2. And looks like UK at the back of the pack. The Zool at last minute pit stop. He's possibly trying for a fastest lap and looks like D Avocado will take that inside line to come ahead of Carlos Sainz. Meanwhile, Freeze at P6 will try to close that gap to Big Man Joe. On board Big Man Joe. He's teaming ahead. Carlos Sainz and D Avocado going at it, switching positions to and fro.
UK seems to have lost a lot of time to D Avocado over there. He is 8 seconds away from D Avocado, and D Avocado seems to be getting really near to Carlos Sainz to grab that P7 before the last lap begins over here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Nero X seems to be pretty much away from Kumari Zora, and he's set up for the race win over here comfortably.
Yep, on the penultimate lap, it looks like we've got a couple of friends from Kumori Zora. Even the comment section is confused on what his name is. In-game name nonetheless. Meanwhile, looks like it's a proper battle for P2. Harry Rocks 24 on the tail of Kumori Zora for a while now. Nero X freely in front of the field on his penultimate lap. Will be starting the final lap soon. It's been a spectacular race filled with multiple inconveniences and incidences, if we may. But anything's possible.
Has dropped out of the DRS zone. He is 1 second away, more than a second away from Kumari Zora, so he won't have DRS then if he's going into the DRS zone right now. And he seems to be dropping further back. Kumari Zora seems to be pulling away from Harry Rocks 24. Carlos Sainz again slapped with a 3-second time penalty. He has been racking up a lot of time penalties out there in this race.
Yep. Looks like there's a bit of banter.
What has happened to him?
Looks like I can hear myself multiple times. Anyway.
I have no idea why that's happening. I'm not watching the stream. Are you happening?
Okay, nope. I'm not watching my stream either. Regardless, Nero X seems like he's set for a comfortable win, but he's on his last lap. Kumori Zora 15 seconds away. That isn't gonna help. And
we have got a red car just going and hitting the. Oh, it's Harry Rocks.
Yep, Harry Rocks 24. Yep, that was Harry Rocks. Could Big Man Joe capitalize on this? Harry Rocks 24 is in sights. Could he get a last minute podium, Big Man Joe?
I'm guessing Harry Rocks might have had some big damage over here, so it is possible.
Meanwhile, Freeze and Gambler looks like Gambler. Yep, Gambler. Seems like they're having quite a bit of a fight.
Carlos Sainz seems to be he seems to have a lonely relay, so there Freeze gets the jump on Gambler, and Gambler gets the jump on Freeze.
And again
There seems to Freeze seems to have had a moment, and he has some big damage over here, and Gambler goes ahead and keeps his P5 spot, and he seems to be pulling away now.
And across the line, Nero X comes,
Got
the
a drum of-
first race winner of the race to 0R. And we've got Kumori Zora coming out the corners as well. Brilliant race by Nero X. So kudos to him as Kumori Zora will come across the line for P2. Looks like, oh, what is happening after multiple time penalties? Is this a glitch or has UK come out at P2?
This is really confusing right
Yep,
now.
it is.
Two words.
It is, we will.
Said, I was about to mention it will be interesting if UK just goes out on the top at the end, and the game seems to have done it for it. He asked for a restart, and the restart seems to love this boy.
Yep.
He just jumped from P9 to P2 out of nowhere. Nero X finishes on top. We have got Kumar Zora dropping out to P5.
Yep, a race.
The time penalties had to do anything with it.
A race filled with confusion and drama, to say the least. Nero X, regardless, did stick on to the race lead to come across the line and take the race win at the Abu Dhabi GP of the race to 0R. What a race.
Wow, pretty eventful race. I gotta say, it's one of the most eventful races I have watched.
Yep, eventful on the management side as well. We had quite a bit of a confusion, but Nero X, well deserved driver of the day, gambler, he might call himself. Well deserved. He did quite a bit of wheel to wheel fighting.
Yes, we have got some really good wheel-to-wheel fighting today. We had Freeze having a lot of wheel-to-wheel fights today, and of course, we got to witness the fight between
Yep.
KDB and Nero X.
Regardless, Kumari Zora, good job to you too, buddy, and well done for the podium finisher, Srivatsan. Thank you, as always. Pleasure.
My pleasure, Sarthak. Goodbye to everyone.
See you everyone at the next race of the race to 0R. Make sure you tune in to our post-race sessions tomorrow with the race winner Nero X and a couple of others too. Cheers.